Alright, derails, normal position. The normal position for the derail should be to derail the wheels with the rolling equipment in the reverse position to leave the rails in condition for the free movements of the equipment. Derails should be used as follows. In main track, secondary track sidings only where required by the federal and state authorities were authorized by the chief engineer, and all other tracks connected with the main tracks except where on account with the descending grade and other local conditions there are no possibility of the rolling equipment drifting beyond the determined point of safety, which shall be indicated by a yellow strip of about 10 inches wide painted on the inside outside of the head webbing base of both rails, which must be kept clear of the stone heights and dirt and weeds, repainted as often as necessary if determining ascending the grade, which will prevent equipment from drifting beyond the point of safety. The grades of the entire track must be considered. Wind pressure will cause rolling equipment to move against the ascending grade at less than 0.5%. When track is located between the main track connected with both the same end of which is a cage for the middle siding layout of the hand-operated end switches standard plan 7390. The plan 6479 and shall apply within such track temporarily used in store places placed with car stops to be stored cars while track is so equipped unless unnecessary by the reason extending grade where the slow action spring switches are authorized while guiding railroad gauges where the track is located between main tracks connected with the both at the same at the end to make sure the derailed rolling equipment will not follow the adjacent track if track temporarily used to store cars placed in the car stop of or to the stored cars where the track is occupied unless they made unnecessary by the reason extending grade. At other points, as the car repairs where the demand necessary authorized by the chief engineer and outside man track of the temporarily used to the stored cars, place of the derail closed with the stored cars, the track is occupied unless made unnecessary by the region of the ascending grade. If the main track on which cars are stored in between other main tracks places a car stop closed with the stored cars instead of the derail unless unnecessary by the reason of extending grade. Location. The location generally with the derails except for the main track shall be clearance point with a variation as follows. The track spacing clearance for the defined in paragraphs 937 to 941, both inclusive. Where the tracks are not parallel to the clearance point, the derail should be placed in a sufficient distance back to the clearance point, which the use of the deflecting rail guards where necessary to make sure that the derailed rolling equipment will not follow the main track. While guiding the rails are used, the minimum length of the guiding rail should be 18 feet. The nearest end of the guiding rail should be located 10 feet from the derail. The flangeway ending of the guiding rail nearest the derail should be 4 inches. End of the guiding rail farthest where the derail should be set with the clearing opening between the rail heads of 12 inches. Unless different alignment is required to do the local conditions. The guiding rail shall be spiked at each tie of the two rail holding spike with the tie plates may need not to be used. The type of the A brigade guardrail brakes shall be used on alternate times to support the guiding rail. But the guiding rail shall be of the section weight of no greater than in the track, preferably less. Existing installation December 31st, 1954 need not to be changed to meet the requirements until the renewal is otherwise necessary. Derails are generally two types of split switch and sliding. Where the derails are prescribed split switch, the type of the derail should be used as follows. With the interlocking limits only the main track and secondary tracks, the branch-like injunctions, non-interlocks, and non-signals, and all other areas where there is possible any of the circumstances for the speed of the rolling equipment to exceed 15 miles an hour. Where derails are prescribed, approved types of sliding derails should be used for location other than including next above. Operation in the territory outside of the interlocking limits with the main track is switched protected by the facing point block. The derail should be operated with the pipeline with which the switching, throwing, and locking mechanism located in the main track switch, which operates both switch and facing point lock in accordance with the standard signal S232. Local conditions prevent the use of the pipe connecting the derail independently operated fouling point derail may be used, which must be equipped with the circuit controller as provided in paragraph 1407B. On lines of minor traffic without passengers over the pipeline shall not be used. The derail shall be operated with lever stand without lever stand where the protected by the signal independent operated fouling point derailing must be equipped with the circuit controller so that the connection with the signal will display the most restrictive indication derailing misplaced, not in derailing position. The derail may be operated with the manual unblocked territory and the pipeline connected with the main track with switch and stands in accordance with the plan 61490 where deemed necessary authorized by the chief engineer. Lever stand and approved types may be used with the operating derails. All derails not operated with the pipelines shall be provided with the standard switch padlocks fastened to the tie by a chain and staple or so that the lever and derail can be locked in normal position only. The distance from the center of the lever stand spindle over the gauge line with the nearest rail line where practicable be at least 4 foot 1 3/4 inch. Position indicated. The position indicated. Position of non-interlocking derails normally or reverse shall indicate as follows: where the tray movements are made with the night derail should be equipped with the standard switch lamp with the removed displaying the purple light when it is in normal position of the derail and the yellow light when it is in reverse position. In the day, no other indication of the position of the derail is itself is necessary. The derailing block siding where derails should be painted with yellow where not interlocked black where interlocked. Other parts of the derail should be painted black. Pipe connection for the operating derails must be kept free of the loss of motion. All fastening must be tight and correct alignment. And ties under the support must be sound. Frequently tested should be made with the assertion of any switch levers can be thrown with the latchet without derailing to be going to correct position, either normal position. Snow, ice, and dirt weeds must be kept away from the derail. When the derails are often those that are herein specified are in use for the given satisfactory surface, that they should be retained until replacement is necessary. Highway crossings. In addition with the authority to protection, in addition with the signal prescribed with the Book of the Rules of the Pennsylvania Railroad, public highway street crossings of the track same elevation shall be protected according to the degree of hazard. State statutes, township, municipal ordinances, public service commission regulations, with the sign of a device prescribed approved by the governing body. 1502 highway crossing signal forming standard plan 78300 flashlight signal conforming standard signals S463. Automatic crossing gates and flashing light signals assemblage conforming the standard signal plan S462. Track circuits of cross protection are applied with the siding of the yard track. The limits of the circuit of the siding the yard track shall be indicated by the yellow stripe prescribed in paragraph 1402B1 by CC, sign prescribed in rule 4103B Book of Rules crossing gates. Painted in accordance with the standard plan 78320, provided with one approved oil electrical lamp, one red reflector glass signal on each side of the railroad. The gates are already equipped with 2 oil lamps, in accordance with the standard plan 70995, and 2 electrical lamps, red reflector or glass signal, need not to be substituted with left-hand lamp, except as a replacement with the lamp has become necessary when deemed necessary to count the density, highway traffic, additional lights, and red glass reflectors, so provided with the 4 on each side of the railroad. Permitted the installation shall be made in accordance with the letter General Practice number 213. Whistle and ring signs should be in accordance with the standard plan 78408, except in the other overhead electric territory that should be attached with the catenary pole in accordance with the plan 6965 and 5. All signs and other forms of protection and grade crossing must be immediately repaired, replaced, and damaged. All crossings must be kept clean, and attention must be given to the following: drainage slope the surfaces of the necessary constructing underground drains. Surface water flowing along the highway toward the track should be diverted before it reaches the track. The width of the crossing should be sufficient to accommodate the width of the highway. Place of the shoulder along the edge of the crossing, and the space between the tracks. Approaches of the track shall be smooth graded with no abrupt breaks, though that the heavy machinery moving of the vehicle with low road clearance may pass over the crossing without touching the rails and surface of the crossing. Flange ways should be 2.5 inches wide, not less than 4 inches deep, and the flange ways must be kept clean at all times. The view of the both direction vehicles approaching the track shall be kept as clear as practical. When installation making general repairs to the crossing, track alignment tangents should be fixed with the transit line on curves and string line calculations. While where installation crossing platforms in which the center filling is in contact with the rails, make sure that making such repairs that may be applied with the new fit rails in good condition, not excessively corroded, should be dried and free of the oil, painted from the good coat of the bituminous paint, approved brand of the battery boxes, reference 47231. 5. Conduct of work. Work on the highway crossing public streets and roads should be done with the least inconvenience possible to the highway travelers. Care must be taken to protect work in compliance with the safety of the law. If necessary to construct temporary footwalks or driveways, they must be kept in safe conditions. Alright, wire lines. When repairing and working on wire lines, all safety must be rigidly observed. The track foreman shall be informed of the wires carrying voltage higher than required for the telegraph or telephone services. Wire lines, whether the transmission, telegraph, telephone, signal power, light current, with such of supreme importance that every effort must be exerted to any point to keep the surface of the tree near wire line should be kept trimmed and removed and decayed to such an extent that it must be unsafe to prevent interference with the wires with the view of the signal. If the wire line is knocked or blown down, causing the wires to touch each other on the ground, the poles must be raised and propped up so that all the wires clear of the ground, no wires swinging to touch another. Superintendent Transportation must be properly informed of the repairs needed that will be done with the trackman for the temporary service. In the event of interruption, damage to the telegraph, telephone lines, with storm, otherwise, trackmen are required to take to make such temporary repairs as they can, so that the service will be restored with the least delay possible. First workers may be done with the train wires. The track foreman shall be informed which are the train wires. If the telegraph, telephone wires are broken, the end should be reunited, pulling them as nearly together as possible, so that the last clear of the ground, inserting the necessary wire to fill up the gap, scrapping the end of the bright, twisting them together, and care most to be taken to connect the two ends of the same circuit by the observation of the position of the wires with the cross arm and the bracket. Alright, this was issued October 1st, 1957. C.J. Henry, Chief Engineer. L.E. Gingerick, Assistant Chief Engineer. C.G. Code, Assistant Chief Engineer, Testing Maintenance of Way. Alright, and then you have different charts. Alright, this one is a number of ties for the frog and your CC tracks, board foot. Another one, adjustment portion of curve, including easement, connection curve, and tangent string line method. This one shows a crossover, heel and frog, crossover, frog points, number 5, number 10, number 20, number 8 turnout, number 20 turnouts, number 15 turnouts, number 10 turnouts. Stock rails for 18-foot split switches, 133 hole drilling, 39 foot long. Left-handed stock rail straight, right-handed stock rail straight. Left-handed stock rail curve. Stock rail for a 30-foot split switch is 130 pounds. Point switch, 3-hole drilling, 60 foot long. Turnouts, crossovers, landing, ladder tracks, slip crossings. Table of dimensions, turnouts for the crossovers and slip crossings, ladder track for the tangent track. Number 20, number 15, number 10, number 8 turntables or turnouts. Number 20, number 15, number 8 turnouts. Number 10 turnouts. Alright, you have your left and right hand stock rail curved, straight for stock rails 20-foot switch, 1382, 440. Stock rails 30-foot switches, stock rail 45-foot switches. Uses of various types of frog switches denoted with the letter X. Installation to maintenance of one-piece guardrails. T guardrails, 11 foot and 16 by 16 and a half foot for use of the yards and sidings. Spiking arrangement for tie plates. Speed limit sign for temporary speed restriction. Minimum roadway clearance. And that completes the Pennsylvania Railroad specification for construction and maintenance of the track.